covered this through a Swamiji. He did a special session lecture. I think maybe Calcutta Swamiji, Arsha Seva. So somebody was asking if we have that recording. This again, 1312.
Yeah, correct. Atma Triptananda.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, that recording would be there, I think. Vijay or something. Yeah.
Because for the benefit of all, I think better to go through once because it was covered in detail.
Yeah. When I called Swamiji, he said, "Is it all right if I talk about this?" He said, "I remember." Yeah. Yayam yatyat pravakshami. Correct. You're right.
And some interesting Shankar Bhashya in this sloka, maybe we can cover in during our Abhyasa Varga.
Shankar Bhashya is interesting, big, long also. Big, but
The
it's big.
few comic things also there, like he calling him, oh, I'm going to tell you, and he binds a kind of towel and says, okay, come, and he says, nasat, nasat, nasat. So he'll
See,
get
the Purva Pakshi starts very interesting. He says, what is this? Krishna is setting up everything, and he says, I'm going to teach you this, that, and so many chapters are covered, and Vishwarupa and all is done, and Karma Yoga is talked about, and Tat, Tamas, everything, 12 chapters have done. And now he's coming and saying it is neither Sat nor Asat. What kind of statement is this? Like that, Purva Shankara is writing this comment. What kind of what is this nonsense? Like that, Purva is saying. Yeah, you're welcome. It's a bit long. It's a bit involved also. Bhashan is not easy. So, yeah, you're welcome to study it. But be careful. Give time for others to follow. Yeah, anybody else?
one part about this Anadimat Param. It is Anadimat is basically Shloka Purnartham. It is not, though it doesn't add value to the weight of this entire meaning, but it's a Shloka Purnartham that Anadimat is as given. That's
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. But for us, yeah, for us, we have to keep on repeating these things, That way, some shlokas are not needed. They are repetitions from previous shlokas. So entire shloka can be removed off. Okay. Anybody else? In USA, leading cause of death is deaths. I see.
It is a joke.
It's a joke. Oh, polyester king. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Barney was a clerk in the trade firm when he started his life, and then he learned then he became a textile business, then expanded the empire.
Yeah.
He actually started as a
In
petrol.
the movie Guru, Hindi movie Guru, Abhishek Bachchan and Aishwarya Rai acted that. Their life story of Ambani, the show.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
That book he tried to stop publication because it was coming so many bad things about him. Polyester King book. On the day when it came, he purchased all the books from the shops and never allowed the publishers to reprint it or bring the book out.
These guys are just, you don't know what to call them. Gods or demons or human beings or what?
He was just a petrol attendant in petrol pump attendant in something in South Africa.
no, Yemen.
Aden.
Okay.
Gulf country.
Gulf, Aden. When I joined Reliance, we were given a book says from fiber to fiber.
From what?
Fiber to fiber. From polyester fiber to optical fiber.
Oh, fiber to fiber. Okay. Yeah, he figured it out. He figured that out. That whole supply chain he figured out.
And he was selling in all the things in the high seas purchase and high seas sales. Nothing will land in the ground. He will auction, take everything from the high seas and sell it in auctions there itself and get it.
Anyway, on off sea sales or on sea sales, it's a pretty legal stuff. You don't have to bring the product into the country and get involved in the country's tax laws. So you do on the sea sales.
Yeah. Prasad, go ahead.
Well, he has also done a lot of manipulations, even in the BS index and all that. Anyway, that's apart from. My question is on, well, one more thing. When you mentioned about the children here, how we restrict, I just remembered yesterday I was in Houston Beach. I saw a Caucasian taking 1-year-old boy into the waves and completely wet and all that. So that's how they push the children here. I don't know whether it's good or not, but
yeah. So as long as the child is, you don't impose fear on the child. You don't definitely not pushing. Existing fearlessness can be encouraged, and somehow a value for that can be highlighted. Creative ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, fear of water and all these things are there, and so some of that fear will go away.
Yeah.
I've seen this babies putting it there, just drop it in the water, and the baby.
Yeah.
And the baby is a floater anyway, and so it should be natural for the baby to do that. I found that to be very interesting.
Yeah. Even in the space also, like dropping from certain heights and all that also they do that. Children.
Oh. Yeah. How do they do that? What do they do?
I think they hold the child and then do some jumping and all. That way, they overcome that type of fear. For example, in India, I think many people fear of high levels where they want to jump from. Maybe today it has changed, but in our days, at least, I can say that we are not that forthcoming.
Fear of heights, yeah.
Fear of heights. And Jigmaji, my question is.
Yeah, go ahead, Prasad.
Yeah. So we actually in 13th chapter so far we have gone through the values. So it is mentioned like jnana, right? So jnana of values as against jnana of the self. So I was just thinking, see, it is more at a point where we are actually coming to the equation Tattvamasi, mentioning these values. So the just previous chapter was about bhakti yoga. So it's actually all these values complements the bhakti part, which in turn is actually part of our karma yoga, as like you've been talking about, like bhakti is not a separate thing, but it is part of karma yoga, right? So all these values, the jnana of the values complements our bhakti, and hence the karma yoga part. No doubt that it is actually very much required for the jnani, who is a jnani. So my point is that at this point, when Krishna brought these values, which are basically part of, for my antakarana shuddhi, they are very much required, all these values. So when he is equating to the jnana at this point of 13th chapter, so what is the relevance of that?
Right. So that's how it is. That's how Krishna has chosen to do it. And Shankaracharya says, Jnanarthatvat jnanam. He uses that 2-3 times. He says that. Many times he says that. And during that Amanitvam itself, those few slokas. Jnanarthatvat jnanam. Indicating that that's not the real jnana. Okay. So that also is mithya only. Okay. So jnanarthatvat jnanam. So he's doing that. Maybe Krishna felt, it's important to talk about values. I talked a lot about karma yoga and all, but people can appreciate values very well. And so he just listed out value. He didn't explain a single value, correct?
Yeah.
Later on, he will talk about kamaha, krodaha, lobaha, and all. Few things he will highlight, right? Kama, krodastata, lobaha, tasmade, tatrayam, tajet, trividam narakasya. He's going to say again later. There are three ways to enter the hell, it seems. Very interesting. Trividam narakasya, dwaram nashanam atmanaha. And then kama, krodastata, lobaha, tasmad trayam tyajet, like that. Anyway, so I like to hear the answer to that question from somebody else also. I'll ask Swamiji and see what he says. This order is, we have given the order. Tvam tat asi is an order we have given. Krishna doesn't say that. Hey, this is the order in which I'm going to teach and all that. He doesn't say anything like that. He's just, they're painting a picture, like a picture, keep on painting. You don't know what the artist has in mind until after some time, right? And then they throw the paint like this. Throw the paint like this, like this. And then this color goes this way, that color goes that way. And then something suddenly comes. Then finally, last few moments only you figure out, oh, this is what it is. Oh, it's a temple. So like that, to some extent, Krishna is like that also. There is not. So I think we should not be too surprised from that perspective. Yeah.
I think this, I understand this is actually Madhusudana Saraswati ji actually brought in the Tvam Tat and Padartha, I think, right? Is that correct? Yeah.
He is the one who wrote the Gita Dhyanam and all. So probably gave titles to all these chapters too. He was the one who did it. I think, I don't know. I've not heard anybody say that, but I'm guessing. Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
So in one of our earlier classes, we had said, I don't know what I don't know about. So this floating is, I think, falls in that category. Everybody can float, but they don't know it.
Oh.
Balance, same thing. Everybody knows that they have balance, but everybody can balance, but they don't know it. That's why we can walk, right? So I think we had a little discussions in one of our prior classes. Where Prasadji mentioned about that Caucasian family or whatever, that came to me that we all, I think, floating is an inherent property, but we don't know it. That's why fear of swimming or fear of water. So I think that's kind of how our mind plays. I just thought about that and I wanted to mention in class.
Yeah. Good. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.